Okay, let's go ahead and get ready to talk a little bit about estimating differences. So, we had put in our math journal what a difference was. And remember, a difference is when we're looking at subtraction. So, if we're looking at estimating right now, we're probably looking at the skill of estimating with subtraction. So, let's get ready to kind of try this out and take a look at this. So, how can rounding numbers help you with the strategy of estimation? So, how can rounding help with that? Well, I know that rounding is typically looking at going to the next place value. So, rounding can actually help me with estimation because estimation is similar to rounding because I'm looking at a close guess to a specific number or to a specific place value. So let's kind of take a look at some of these. So today we're going to be estimating some of the differences of decimals. So let's get ready to kind of take a look at this with a 3 read. Okay, so it says Nico is packing boxes for a trip. One of the suitcases weighs 42 and 34 hundredths pounds. The second bag weighs 14 and 21 hundredths of a pound. And the third bag he packed was 5 and 35 hundredths of a pound. Round to the nearest tenth, what is the estimated total weight of all the suitcases? Well, am I going to subtract on this one? I don't know. It didn't sound like I heard anything that told me that I was needing to do subtraction. So I'm going to kind of look at this again. So now I'm going to do my second read. And now I'm going to kind of focus on some things that are going to be important. I know he's packing for a trip. One suitcase is 42 and 34 hundredths. Second bag is going to be 14 and 21 hundredths. The third bag is 5 and 35 hundredths of a pound. Something that I notice is that it says rounded to the nearest tenth. So I know I need to round each of these place values to that nearest tenth position, but not only do I need to round it to the nearest tenth position, it says the estimated total of all the suitcases. So I know when I see that I'm going to look at the total of all those suitcases, I'm probably going to be looking for adding all the numbers up instead of subtracting. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a third read just to double check and make sure that that was making sense. So I see it says Nico's packing boxes for the trip. One of the suitcases is this. Ran into the nearest tenth. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my numbers like 42 and 34 hundredths. I'm going to take 14 and 21 hundredths, and then I have 5 and 35 hundredths. What I want you to do right now is pause the video, and I want you to round each of these to the 10th place value. Then restart the video to check yourself. So go ahead and pause it now. Okay, so hopefully you remember that this first place value after the decimal is the 10th place value. So let's go ahead and double check your rounding. So on this first one, that 3 is not going, to change because the 4 is less than 5, so my number is going to stay the same. So this is going to give me 42 and 3/10. My next one is 14 and 21 hundredths. Well, same thing. 2 is not going to change because 1 is less than 5, so it's going to stay where I'm at. So this is going to stay at 14 and 2/10. Let's go ahead and take a look at my final one. 5, 10. Awesome. So my 3 is going to change, it's going to go to the next place value, which is the 4. So the next digit, so that's going to give me 5 and 4/10. So hopefully you got 42 and 3/10, 14 and 2/10, and then 5 and 4/10. So now let's go ahead and find the total. I'm going to have 3 and 2 make 5. 4 more make 9. So I'm going to go ahead and bring down my 9. I'm going to draw my decimal place value. Now I can go ahead and add these two numbers. So I have 2 plus 4 more is 6, plus 5 more is 11. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that 1 of the 11 from the 1's place value, regroup those other 10. Now I have 40 plus a group of 10 is 50, plus another group of 10 is 60. So I'm going to bring down my 6 groups of 10. So I got, for my final answer, 61 and 9/10 is the weight of all those bags. Okay. Let's go ahead and try another. All right, so this is Kristen wants to make a dress and has 140 yards, 140 and 25 hundredths of a yard of fabric. She will need 50 and 42 hundredths of a yard to make a dress. Will she have enough to make 2 dresses? Round to the nearest 10th, then find the difference. All right, so I just did my first read, heard the information. Sounds like Kristen wants a new dress. She has some fabric. I know how much she needs to make a second. I'm trying to find out, can she make 2? Okay, now I'm ready to do my second read, and I'm going to focus on more specific information. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and pause the video right now, do the second read, and see if you find the same information as me. Then restart it and check yourself. All right, welcome back. So right here, I know that Kristen wants to make a dress. She has this much fabric. She will need this much more to make a dress. I'm trying to investigate, will she have enough for 2? I need to round to the nearest 10th to then find the difference. So now I can go ahead and get ready to start looking at solving my problem. So the most amount of fabric I have is this. I'm not going to the store. I'm not getting any more. So I have 40 and 25 hundredths. My 5 is going to change the 2 because I'm rounding to the 10th place value, which means I really have 140 and 3/10 of a yard. Now I can go ahead and look at making a dress. So one dress is 50 and 42 hundredths. If I'm going to the 10th place value, is my 2 going to change the 4? No. So I know one dress is 50 and 4/10. But I'm not just going to have one dress. It says that I want to do 2. So I'm going to add another group of 50 and 4/10. Did it tell me I needed to double the amount? No, it didn't explicitly tell me that. I had to kind of read between the lines to figure that out, 5th grade. Remember, we call that implicit information. When a text doesn't tell that to you and you have to read the text and use your detective skills. So I know that I'm going to get 8, 0, and then 10. So 108/10 is for 2 dresses. Well, now I have to kind of compare and see. Well, I know that I have 108/10. I have to subtract it from 140 3/10. I know that she's going to have enough before I even solve to find the difference. I know this because 140 is bigger than 100. But the question says to find the difference, so I still have to solve. So now I'm going to go ahead and subtract. So I want you to pause the video, try your subtraction problem, then restart it and check yourself to see if you solved it correctly. All right, so I'm going to start right here in my tens place value because it's the smallest. 3 is less than 8, so I can't take it away. I have to go to the next place value. Well, that's a 10. Sorry, that's a 0. 0 can't borrow and give a group of 10 to my 3. So my 0 has to go to 4. Can 4 give a group? Yes, 4 is going to change to a 3, give one group of regroup 10s over here. It's going to trade it in. So now I have 10 over here. Can 10 give some to the 3? Heck yeah, it can. So now my 10 is going to change to a 9. And that one group of 10 is going to get added over here. Well, what's 10 plus 3? 13, right? I know 13, take away 8 is 5. Bring my decimal down. 9 take away 0 is 9. 3 take away 0 is 3. So I got 39 and 5/10. Hopefully you got the same thing. Let's go ahead and take a look at one more. Then we're going to look at your assignment over in Buzz. I want you to try this one on your own. I want you to pause the recording now. I want you to do the 3 reads. Then I want you to restart it when you're ready and check yourself. Did you find the correct information? Did you set up the problem correctly? Did you round correctly? And then did you solve correctly? Okay, so here we go. It says Mercedes enjoys, so go ahead and pause it. I should probably pause too, and then restart it here in just a second and let's check yourself. All right, here we go. So let's find our amount. And Mercedes, she rides this amount the first day, this amount the second day, round to the nearest 10th. I want to know the difference of the miles for those 2 days. Ooh. So if I'm going to be comparing mileage, that means I first need to round my 2 numbers. I'm going to start with my biggest number, which is 15 and 48/100ths. Rounded to the nearest 10th is going to be 15 and 5/10. Over here, 3 and 22 is just going to be 3 and 2/10 because 2 can't change that other 2. When I subtract, when I subtract, I'm going to estimate over here first. Well, my 5/10, I'm going to look at that whole number to kind of estimate. Is going to change my 15 to a 16. So I'll just do 16. 3, can my 2 change my 3? Nope, so I'm just going to say 16, take away 3. Let's do a quick estimation with whole numbers. I'm going to get 13. So I know when I estimate, my answer should be 13. If I actually solved my answer to see, hey, is my estimate here good and close to the actual answer? What? Are you wanting to do math too? I know that, my goodness, right now I'm teaching. I'm going to have 5. Don't be back, Sassy. Right now I'm oh, jangles. I'm going to have 3 takeaway. 5 takeaway 2 is 3. I'm going to bring down my decimal. Then I'm going to have 5 take away 3 is 2 over here. Now, and then I'm going to bring down my 1. All right. Now, I got the answer 12 and 3/10. Is 12 close to 13? Yeah, so I know my estimate of 13 was pretty good for what I ended up getting. Let's go ahead and head on into Buzz and take a look at our assignment. We are heading into 5th grade math. We are looking at lesson 204 today. So I'm going to go into the Module 2 folder. You're going to scroll down to lesson 204. Notice we have a test on Wednesday. We still have 3 iReady lessons, so if you haven't done your iReady lessons, make sure you're looking at them, okay? As you're going through, you're going to have some problems where you are practicing that skill of estimating, reviewing rounding. You're going to have some practice problems. Then when you get to the end, you have your assignment. Let's take a look at it, okay? Woo! All right, so you're going to have some rounding to the nearest 10th, and then rounding to the nearest whole number and solving. Okie dokie artichokey. You got this, gang.